is going to be a great addition to the Maple Leafs as long as he's with the Maple Leafs. He's a guy who's still kind of searching out his options in playing professional baseball. He came out of the Atlantic League, which is one of the better independent leagues out there. Jose Vinicio is at the plate for the Maple Leafs facing Brandon Deans, and the pitch is just up.
Absolutely. I mean, he pitched a couple games with Hagerstown. It didn't go as well as he had hoped, but he's pitched around in Quebec with the Winnipeg Goldeyes. And the Atlantic League is very formidable. I was looking up 6 or 7 arms that he pitched with when he was on Hagerstown that were ex-MLB guys. They had made it to the majors.
Vinicio hits a chopper back to Brandon Deans, underhand flip to Josh Garton, and plenty of time, one away.
First baseman, number 44, Cole Murchison.
This is a guy who I think the Leafs really, really want to get going here in Cole Murchison. You saw the power coming out of the States in college ball. It's very clearly there. He's a big dude. He can play a lot of first base. It takes some ease off of Jordan Castaldo, and if he can get the bat going, it's a very, very formidable 1-2 punch at first base for the Maple Leafs.
Oh, 1 here to Cole Murchison. 1-1 the count. Now, do you know what a goldeye is?
I know it's a type of fish.
Oh, nice. Did you see my computer when I was Googling it?
No, I knew that because the Winnipeg Goldeyes in their first iteration, before they became the Goldeyes that we now know as an independent league team.
Murchison hits this one down the line. This could be extra bases. Cut off quickly, though, in the outfield. And now the cutoff throw gets away, so it will be extra bases. Cole Murchison moves up to second base, but that's going to go as an error on the Guelph Royals. You can finish your point on the Goldeyes thing if you want it there.
Well, so before they became the Goldeyes that we now know as an independent team in Canada, a long time ago, I believe it was with the Chicago White Sox. If anyone's listening and could correct me, but I think it was with the White Sox a long time ago, that there was... Canada used to have multiple minor league teams that were affiliated with pro ball.
Yeah.
I believe Winnipeg was one of them for a short period of time. And that's how baseball became recognized there as a big thing. And, the Winnipeg Goldeyes now are a very, very prolific Canadian independent ball team. But now it's just the Vancouver Canadians that are affiliated with the Jays. But there's London, I believe, had one a long time ago as well. There used to be a couple teams around Canada that had some affiliation, Winnipeg being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking to get that deep into it, but that's it that you had that off the top of your head. I honestly thought it was a pickerel.
A what?
A pickerel? Like, you get it at a restaurant? A walleye? Not a big fish connoisseur?
No. Well, I don't eat seafood at all, so I'm not the right person to ask. But.
All right. Well, we're already way too deep into the weeds, so... Charlie Towers is at the plate now for the Maple Leafs, and with the throwing error back to the infield, it sees Cole Murchison at second base, so Charlie Towers has a chance to get an RBI here. It's a lot of players, especially some of the younger guys that come to the Intercounty Baseball League that do exactly what Taylor Lepard is trying to do, and they go play in an independent league, or we've even seen a couple of Maple Leafs end up getting drafted in the MLB draft. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Towers fouls it off again. Hanging tough here against Brandon Deans.
Yeah, he's fouling off some tough pitches. Fishing for a base hit.
Sure.
But, yeah, I mean, you talk about it. Evan Elliott comes to mind, who's now in the Blue Jays system.
Yeah.
Daniel Procopio, who hasn't made his 2024 debut yet with the Leafs. He was an ex-Los Angeles Angels draft pick. Jesse Hodges, we've talked so much about. Justin Mara back there behind the plate on defense. There's a lot of quality players in this league, and I think a lot of people don't recognize the caliber of play that the IBL has to offer. I mean, look no further than Angel Castro last game, an ex-major leaguer. He pitched with Oakland.
Yeah, it goes the other way sometimes as well, where players who were playing pro are back here.
Dustin Richardson, another one.
And we're going to see even more of that too, by the way, next year, because they're moving to 5 import spots instead of 4 import spots.
Yes. It will be very interesting to see how that plays out.
The 3-2 to Charlie Towers. And he hits it through the infield. Cole Murchison's going to stop at third base. He had to make sure that ball didn't get caught. Charlie Towers on first, and the Maple Leafs have runners at the corners for Lucas Alberti.
Heck of an at-bat right there from Charlie Towers. Another full count against Brandon Deans, fouling off a couple pitches. I want to say that was either the 9th or the 10th pitch of the at-bat that he ripped in left field. And speaking of youngsters, Lucas Alberti, his first start for the Maple Leafs coming today. It's just the second inning, but it's a very big spot in the game right now. Your second straight inning, you've pushed Brandon Deans. His pitch count is up there. You've got guys on base. Second straight inning of getting 2 guys on. Alberti's quick. A ground ball will likely score a run.
First pitch inside ball 1. Lucas Alberti introduced himself to the Toronto Maple Leafs by coming in as a pinch runner for Jordan Castaldo at third base and ended up coming home on a walk-off wild pitch that saw the Maple Leafs win 8-7 over the Kitchener Panthers. That was a big win at the time for the Maple Leafs, who were trying to turn things around.
Yeah, the Leafs have had a lot of good performances from junior call-ups this year. You talk about Alberti getting his first start today, and Lachlan Maud we've talked a lot about. Jamie Cabral, when he's been in the lineup, has kick-started some offense. Kieran Wong, pinch running. He's had very limited opportunity, but when he's been on bases...
Yeah, he was the guy who came home, not Lucas Alberti, right?
Yeah.
Kieran Wong, yeah. Lucas Alberti fouls it back.
Towers is dancing off of first base over there. I think if it wasn't Alberti and it wasn't his first start and he wasn't a youngster and it was, say, Castaldo batting, I think they'd probably either just let Towers run straight up or try and hit and run. But I don't think they'd want to do that, especially not with 2 strikes now. But Towers is very clearly eager to get going over there at first.
The 1-2. Alberti takes high 2-2. That's a great take there from Lucas Alberti. So he's appeared in 3 games for the Maple Leafs, but he just had the 2 at-bats. Looking for that first IBL hit. Great time for it here with a runner on third base and Murchison. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Up high, 3-2.
And another full count. Another full count. The Leafs are having some terrific at-bats. You saw 3 of them last inning. I believe this is the 3rd this inning as well. Making Deans sweat in the humid air.
Way up and in, ball 4. Lucas Alberti draws the walk. That's massive for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and a great at-bat is now Jordan Castaldo is at the plate.
And on top of obviously wanting a ground ball, possible double play, or even just a ground ball to get the second out of the inning, you're facing a 9-hitter who hasn't had a lot of experience. You turn that lineup over to, like we're seeing now, the Castaldos and the Salazos and the Connects. It's a risky business with the way the Leafs have been hitting recently. Alberti's not a guy, any bottom of the order guy is not a guy you want to walk. And Castaldo, who we've seen a lot recently, turn on baseballs, pull it down the right field line. Just against Brantford the other night, we saw him do. That's something he's ever so good at.
He's got the batting average up to .290 now. There's Jordan Castaldo. Was 1 for 4 against Brantford and also had a home run a couple of games ago in the win over Kitchener, where the Maple Leafs 185 hit that one to dead center field. Probably just looking for a single here. But on the flip side, the Guelph Royals see Jordan Castaldo as a guy who doesn't run particularly well, so if they can get a ground ball, he is a double play candidate. It's just Jordan Castaldo doesn't hit into a lot of those.
7 lefty hitters in the lineup tonight for the Maple Leafs. It's a perfect opportunity to get right back in this game, right here, right now, at the top of the lineup.
Castaldo hits this one high and deep to right field. No doubt about it. Grand slam, Jordan Castaldo, and the Maple Leafs take a 4-2 lead.
He saw Josh Garton annihilate a fastball earlier on, and he said, watch me, I'll do it even better. He hit that one a mile over the right field fence, and again, there ain't no fence in the IBL that's keeping that in the park. Dean's a get me over strike, and Castaldo did not wait around. And what were we just talking about? You do not want to walk the 9-hitter to get to Castaldo at the top of the lineup. How hot he's been, they will make you pay.
That's got to be a great feeling there for Jordan Castaldo, but yeah, when Brandon Deans walked the 9-hitter after getting ahead in the count on Lucas Alberti, that spells trouble almost every time. Now Justin Mara's at the plate, and he fouls one straight back. Jordan Castaldo has now entered his name into the team lead and home runs conversation. He has 3 as well. The 0-2, swinging a foul tip at home plate.
And as soon as that ball hit Castaldo's bat, Wes Johnston picked up a ball and started throwing in the Guelph Royals bullpen. Deans was throwing a ton of pitches. Johnston, another junior call-up. The Royals have a few on their roster here tonight, much like the Leafs do.
When Jordan Castaldo hit that home run, much like the one by Josh Garton, nobody moved anywhere, infield, outfield, or even Jordan Castaldo at the plate. He stood and admired that one. So 1-2 the count now on Justin Mara. And that pitch is high, 2-2.
Andy Leader on Kitchener has seen a lot of balls go over the right field fence at Jack Couch before, and he didn't even turn around out there in right field on that Castaldo hit. And another full count that a Leafs hitter has worked it to.
3-2. That one's a high hopper up the middle. Looks like it went off the foot of Brandon Deans, and the Maple Leafs keep the line moving as Justin Mara has a base hit and has now extended his hit streak to 6 consecutive games.
I would not be shocked at all if Marcus Connect is the last batter that Dino Romel lets Brandon Deans face. And as soon as I say that, Dino Romel makes the slow walk to the mound and he'll take out Brandon Deans here. For as much as Sam Green and Max Munoz limited the damage in their first 2 innings, Deans could not do that, and it's a very, very unfortunate turn of events for the Royals here. Especially since they have played so much recently. They're down a couple of their very good starters, and they wanted length out of Deans that he could not give them here tonight.
It will be a battle of the bullpens in this one. Both teams going to the bullpen in the 2nd inning, and we'll have more on that when we come back.
And I mean, it's a tough, your first IBL appearance is against a really good Jackfish squad, but they are going to hope that Johnston can give him some length here. I mean, Deans, we saw talked about as a soccer ball gets kicked over the fence down the right field line. I just saw that
still
out
in
of
the field?
It is. It's in the Guelph bullpen.
Okay.
But anyways, back to Johnston. Yeah, what they need out of him right now is some length, a lot of strikes. And as I say that, it's quickly 2-0 on a very dangerous Marcus Connect. We've talked so much about his hot streak of late.
2-0. Marcus Connect drills it foul. There's the culprits right there. I think the little guy feels bad about it, I think. It's all right.
It didn't interrupt the game at all. We've seen far worse interruptions here at Christie Pitts this season.
We've seen far worse to the past as well. Here's the 2-1. Marcus Connect pops it straight up. It's the catcher, Ash, who makes the catch, twisting and turning underneath the baseball. And there's 2 away. There used to be a family of skunks that lived under the press box. And in the NBA, or not the NBA, in the IBL finals, they created a pretty lengthy delay against the London Majors when there was a couple skunks running around in the outfield. Always funny to see players' reactions to that. Some want to, go and be the hero and help chase it off the field. Some don't want any part of it.
We've seen pigeons this year.
Yeah, John
wreaking
Salazzo.
havoc.
Yeah, he got into it with a pigeon. John Salazzo's at the plate now, by the way. I actually texted John Salazzo about the pigeon thing, and he said that pigeon was flexing on me all night. Took it personally.
Oh, he was messing around with Greg Carrington on the mound, too.
1-0. Yeah, he was on the back of the mound while Greg Carrington was pitching. And these are way too niche facts, and we watch too much IBL baseball.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, Salazzo probably sees pigeons in his nightmares now. So.
2-0 way inside. Sees himself in a 3-0 count.
Can you find yourself in a more gut-wrenching, anxious position than what Wes Johnston's found himself in? First outing in the IBL, you face Welland, it doesn't go well. Second outing, you're 3-0 on John Salazzo. Not a good feeling, I can't imagine.
But good job to come back and deliver a strike there. Yeah, this is not an easy matchup. I'm sure the Welland Jackfish weren't an easy matchup either. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Salazzo takes a strike. So now Wes Johnston has worked himself back into the count, and this is a massive 3-2 pitch here in the bottom of the second inning. Wes Johnston could really use a strike here to get out of this inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Salazzo, and he crushes it. High and deep to right center field, and it's off the wall. 1 run is going to come in to score. John Salazzo is going to have to stay at first base. And now J.D. Williams crashed into that fence really hard in the outfield. And there's some concern for his health right now.
I think, and I'm sure Jonathan Salazzo will be the first one to make this point to whoever he talks to. He thought that was gone.
Yeah.
He was not running at all. And it's hard to blame him. I mean, we've seen him put so many over the fence. Tonight, we've been talking about how humid it is, how the balls have been flying. But I have a feeling he's down there at first base talking to Adam Mara saying, hey, my bad. I should have hustled out of the box.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a stand-up double for sure.
Yeah, he crushed it. It just wasn't quite high enough. And the tall fence also did not rob that home run. There's a little bit of a breeze starting to come in from center field, but that hit off the lower part of the fence that's always been there.
And I will say, from our position, I don't know about you, partner, but I thought that was gone off the bat. I had, like Salazzo, no reservations that ball was staying in. Yet it found a way.
So J.D. Williams still getting attended to in the outfield. And we hope that he's all right. You can see some concern on the face of John Salazzo there as well. And looks like he's going to stay in the ball game. Obviously, J.D. Williams would be a monumental loss for the Guelph Royals. It's up in the lineup in that 2 spot, hitting well over 300 to start the year. So a sigh of relief on the face of some Guelph Royals players and fans, seeing him stay in the game. And now the attention turns back to the mound with the youngster Wes Johnston trying to get out of the inning. This game is not out of reach at this point, but if Wes Johnston doesn't get out of this inning pretty soon, this lead could grow pretty heavily with Ryan Dos Santos, who already has 3 home runs on the season.
And on top of how important it is to keep J.D. Williams in the lineup for the Guelph Royals, you look at their bench today. They don't have a lot of arms that are ready to go in the bullpen, but off the bench, Ashton Patterson and Ethan Hammond would be one of the 2 guys who would likely replace an outfielder should someone come out of the game injured. But they only have 3 guys total on their bench tonight. It's not a deep squad for the Guelph Royals.
Here's the 0-1. It's in the dirt, gets to the backstop, and there you go. John Salazzo will get his extra 90 feet and he's on second base. Just a note as well, Andy Leader has pitched in the Intercounty Baseball League. Some considered him somewhat of a two-way player when he came into the league in 2017. He hasn't pitched a lot, but if the Guelph Royals need him, I would assume that he'd be the first position player to volunteer for that. Here's the 1-1, fouled off by Ryan Dos Santos, who takes a deep breath. He knew he got a pitch that he probably could have handled there from Johnston.
I believe it was the London Majors last year who we saw have two different position players come in and pitch against the Maple Leafs. I forget.
Robert Mackey was
Robert Mackey was one of them. Did Keith Candell pitch as well?
Yeah, I think you're right. Low and inside. And by the way, Robert Mackey actually is a pitcher now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's pitching. In
a very
fact, he
good point.
closed out on opening day for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Protected a 3-run lead.
Chatham has some real good arms out of that bullpen.
The 2-2 hit on the ground to third. Good snag there by Mussini. Throw to first in time. Oh, great defense from the young Mussini at third base. And that gets West Johnston and the Guelph Royals out of the inning. But some damage done by the Maple Leafs. A grand slam by Jordan Castaldo, and the starting pitcher out of the game as well. So battle of the bullpens continues here at Dominico Field.